Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here, and appreciate you taking some time with us this morning. And as we get started, if you want to go ahead and find your place in the 75th Psalm, 75th Psalm, a little short psalm. We could actually probably cover the whole psalm today, but would have to rush a little bit. That would, again, make me happy because we'd finish a psalm on a Saturday, but I would rather take some time and cover it well. A lot of good information in this short psalm. And while you're finding your place, let me remind you that tomorrow is Easter Sunday. And we'd love to have you come and to worship with us on Easter Resurrection Sunday at Poplar Grove Baptist Church. We'll be meeting at 10 a.m. and would love to have you join us for worship on that day. And again, that is a decision you need to make today. You decide today that this Easter, me and my family are going to church. And so for many years, it was the Sunday that people went to church, even if they didn't go any of the other Sundays. They went on Easter. Unfortunately, in our world today, many choose not even to do that. And so we encourage you to worship somewhere. Again, we'd love to have you at Poplar Grove, but we would just encourage you to worship the Lord. If you have a church home, please be there. They need to see your face. They need your support, and you need the church. And so remember that tomorrow morning. All right, let's go ahead now. You found your place and jump into the 75th Psalm. It is a psalm, it says to us, of Asaph as well. It has that word that I probably don't say exactly correctly. Altashith, and may not pronounce it right, but I do know what it means. It means do not destroy. And so this was a psalm that was to be kept and guarded for the people of Israel, for them to sing, for them to remember the hand of God. There is some debate as to what this psalm, what event in the nation, the history of Israel, that this particular psalm speaks of. Generally, it is accepted. Again, there are a few who disagree, and to be perfectly honest, we don't know for sure, but it does fit. It does make sense that this has to do with the victory over Assyria. Assyria ran through the Middle East, basically like a hot knife through butter. They had simply destroyed pretty much everything in their sight. They had destroyed and killed and defeated pretty much anybody and everything. And now they have gathered outside of Jerusalem, and they have again sent word. They've tried to, by taking up that position, tried to get the king of Israel to basically to surrender. And as the day ended, again, they're worried, but as the sun goes down, the Jews they go to bed afraid of what will happen, the destruction, the murder, the rape, all the rampage of the villainous Assyrian army that was headed their way. And when the sun came up the next morning, the Jews looked out, and when they did, what they saw were a bunch of empty tents, and the Assyrians were gone. The Assyrians had been defeated. All that was there were empty tents. And so this psalm, with all of that background, is laid out to tell us about the justice of God. It reminds us of putting our confidence in Him and trusting in Him when the battle seems unwinnable. And so we are, that again, that's why I think this is such an important psalm, because so many times in our life, situations do reach that particular situation in our life where we think there's no hope. This psalm does seem to be a sequel to the previous two, that they just kind of build on what has taken place previously. And so we're going to jump in here. Again, this was a song to be sung with the congregation, praising God for His justice, how He had intervened, and helps us again to keep our eyes on the Lord while we wait on the coming judgment of God, while we wait on Him to intervene in our circumstances. So beginning in verse 1, it says, "Unto Thee, O God, do we give thanks. Unto Thee do we give thanks, for that Thy name is near, Thy wondrous works declare." And so we have again this psalm begins with giving thanks. Obviously, we recognize here that they are giving that thanks because of this unexpected victory. They have seen God do something that they couldn't even pray for. I don't think there's probably anybody, maybe there might have been a few, but I can't imagine there was anybody in Jerusalem who was praying that, when we get up in the morning, just let them be gone. I mean, they were there. There was no visible way they could overcome. And, I got to imagine that their prayer was, Lord, let it be quick and pain-free. It's kind of maybe like going to the dentist. I can't get out of it, so make it pain-free. And so they were flabbergasted when they got up the next day and realized what had happened, or didn't even understand what had happened. They just knew that the Assyrians' tents were empty and they were gone. And so they began to give thanks. They are thankful for that. And the repetition here of in verse 1, we give thanks unto Thee, O God, do we give thanks. Unto Thee do we give thanks. That repetition shows just how grateful they were, and there's a few things that they say that they are thankful for. They say, "For that Thy name is near." So the first thing they are thankful for is the nearness of God, and so what they had witnessed reminded them that God was near, that He wasn't far removed from His people. He had heard their prayers. He had seen their dilemma and had intervened in this situation for them. And so they thank God for that movement of God, that God was near to them, that He heard and witnessed, He observed their situation, but not only for His nearness, but also for then what He did. For thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. And so they were thanking God, and this makes sense if you think about it. They weren't just thanking God, saying, "Thank you, God, that you were near," because He could have been near and not done anything. He could have been near and stood by and watched, but He was near, and His works demonstrated that He was near. His works, what He had done for them, the things that He had done in the nation of Israel, the great miracles that He had done all the way back to the founding of Israel, to their deliverance out of Egypt, to their march through the wilderness, to the promise. Everything that He had done reminded them that not only that He was near, but He was working on their behalf. And so they're giving thanks unto thee, doubled up there. And so, I think the lesson for us is extremely clear this morning, that we are reminded to be careful to give God thanks for what He does. I believe that not being thankful is a sin, a hideous sin, that when we fail to be grateful and thankful for the things that God has done for us. And we have to work on that. And one of the ways I think maybe we can work on that, just a suggestion, would be to keep a little journal, a little booklet, maybe set up a little folder on your cell phone, and just kind of, as God does things, as you witness things, as you see things that show that God is near, that show that He is working, write them down so that you can see them and remember them and recall them, and express our gratitude, because surely, especially on an Easter weekend, we know that God is near, and that He is doing wondrous works in all of our lives. All right, hope that'll help you and get you looking for things to be grateful for and to see the nearness of our God. Have a great day. Have a great Easter weekend, and we'll see you back here Monday morning.